Okay. Hi, my name is Paula O'Neill, and I'm here with my friend, Tammy White. Tammy and I have been friends for, I don't know how long. How long have we been friends, Tammy?
I don't know. Many
Forever.
years. I don't know.
I've been here 33 years, so a good part of that, we've known each other. And we really appreciate this year, Tammy. As always, you've been supportive of Bowling for Boobs. And this year you're a Tata sponsor. So I wanted to ask you about that, Tammy. What was your interest in being a sponsor, and what does it mean to you and your organization?
Well, as you know, I've been involved with Bowling for Boobs for many years as a member of WPBA. But this year, because we can't actually have the event, we decided, like everybody else, kind of having to pivot. And instead of working it and helping them out and doing that part of it, because we can't do that now, we decided to be a Tata sponsor. And the reason, and this came up like really kind of quick because we really didn't know how things were going to work out this year, is that my mother-in-law had breast cancer back in 1969. I always knew that she had it, but even the 30 years I was with her son, it was never really talked about. And I had a conversation last night with my husband's youngest sister, and to get more information, because, you know, back in the 60s, it was hush, hush, you know, they did not talk about it at all. And my mother-in-law was 46 years old when she was diagnosed with breast cancer. And this was in Long Island. And cancer had run in her family, but it was all colon cancer. Nothing was ever related to breast cancer. So through the years and with what she went through, they had pretty much nailed down in the area where they grew up in, because, you know, Long Island used to be a potato farm, you know, before they started developing it. And there was a lot of chemicals in the ground. And in the area where they lived, in Levittown, at the same time my mother-in-law developed breast cancer, 6 other women around her age also developed breast cancer. And so they pretty much link it back to the water from the potato farming. But then,
now, you said that was in what, 1969?
1969.
1969. Right. How old was she?
She was 46 years old. 46. She had my youngest sister-in-law was 11 years old when her mom was diagnosed. She is the youngest, and she had a single radical mastectomy. She did not go through with radiation or chemotherapy because she saw what it did to her brothers as they were fighting and losing their battle with colon cancer. But, you know, everybody's body is different, and everybody has to, you know, take whatever route is going to be, you know, best for them. So that's pretty much why, because, you know, as you know, I lost my husband 4 years ago, and his mother ended up dying of natural causes about 10 years ago, pretty much natural causes. She lived to be 88 years old. After
amazing. She was a 40-year cancer survivor.
Yeah,
that's amazing. Plus. I can imagine the research they did on her really helped me and others who are fighting cancer today. So thank you.
I really hope so, because yeah, it is pretty amazing that a 40+ year survivor of breast cancer.
Yeah. Absolutely. Wow. And so tell us about your foundation, Tammy.
I started the Bobby White Foundation in July of 2018. And this was after the suicide death of my husband, Bobby, in April of 2016. There's a lot out there, and you hear a lot about suicide prevention, and which is mostly geared to those who either are suicidal or have suicide ideology, but there's nothing, you don't ever hear or see anything about help for suicide loss survivors, which are people like me, family, friends, coworkers, a relation to somebody who has taken their life by suicide. When the first responders and the victims advocates left that day, left our family, there was absolutely no other contact, no information given to us. I was handed a piece of paper with a list of funeral homes on it. And that was it.
And so now you are there for people who go through this horrible experience?
We have it took us, we actually started this one, our first program prior to starting the foundation, because it took a lot of work, and it started out with several organizations in our community, and little by little they ended up dropping off. And we partnered with Central Florida's Children's and Family Systems of Care first, right after we started the foundation, which is a 501c3 nonprofit, and received our first grant funding last September for our Purple Folder program. And what it is we have a purple folder. I'd show it to you, but with the virtual background, you can't see it. Kind of.
I've seen it in person, I remember.
Yeah. So anyways, so we have this purple folder, and there's a letter in it for me and Jody, and there's like 8 pages front and back, just full of information. Some of it's local information, some of it is resources. It's just information that we wish we would have had when my husband passed away. The idea is to get it into the hands of lost survivors as soon after a death as possible. They may not be ready for it at that time, but at least when they are, they have something tangible. I didn't even know that there was a Tampa Bay chapter of the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention over 5 months after my husband died. And I found out by accident. But their resources, again, too, aren't, they don't get right to the people who need it after a suicide. Suicide loss survivors are at a 400 times greater risk for suicide than the general public. And one suicide can affect, on the average, of 137 people. Wow. So imagine how many people in one community. In Pasco County, the year that my husband died, 104 people died by suicide. Wow. It went down to 94 in 2017. 2018 and 2019, we had 119 deaths. And of those 119 deaths, pretty much the only thing that changed is that instead of having 2 teen deaths by suicide between the ages of 15 and 18, in 2019, we had 4.
Wow.
And well, in our community, and what people mostly see, and it's going to be different community, community by community. We're trying to encompass right now all of Pasco County. So the hot spots in our county for suicide is the West Corridor, for like US 19 area from county line to county line. And it's white males 45 to 55 and older are our highest rates of suicide deaths in our county.
And 2020 is such a weird year to begin with. I can only imagine how that's affected people's mental status.
I wouldn't be surprised if there was an increase. There have been increases all across the country. I don't know what our numbers will be, but I know that in our county, the overdose rates have more than tripled in our county since COVID.
Wow. Well, Tammy, really appreciate everything you're doing on that front and helping Bowling for Boobs. I can't wait till we can see each other in person. This has been a crazy year, but I'm sure it'll be soon. Thank you for everything you do.
Well, thank you for everything you do too, Paula. I mean,
thank you,
like
Tammy.
I said, it takes a village, for the whole community, no matter what, not one organization or one person. There's no way we can do it on our own. It takes all of us.
It does, definitely. Thank you for being there.
Thanks.
All right, I'll see you soon.
See you soon. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.